Hi everyone, welcome to your virtual classroom where we play with points, lines, shapes and figures. So pick up your pen, pick up your writing pad and let us do this together. So today we're going to be talking about circle geometry. So for those of us who find the topic difficult to understand, this will be a very good starting point for us. We will start by looking at what a circle is. If we tie a goat to this point and you allow the goat to graze freely, the movement of the goat is restricted by the length of the rope with which it is tied. Hence, it cannot graze beyond this green region, and that region is what is called a circle. Now, the boundary surrounding the region is called the circumference of a circle, while the distance between the center of the circle and any point on the circumference, which in this case is the length of the rope with which the goat is tied, is called radius. We will also look at some few terminologies as it concerns a circle. Draw a line between the center of the circle to the circumference. Like I mentioned earlier, it is called the radius of a circle. And if we can draw a line that divides the circle into two equal parts passing through the center, it is called a diameter, and one that looks like the diameter is a chord, which has a similarity with diameter. It touches the circle at two different points on the circumference, but does not pass through the center. Of course, the diameter is the longest chord you can have. It touches the circle at two different parts, so it's a special. Now we will look at some interactions among lines in a circle. This is called an arc of a circle. Look at this dotted part of the circumference. Like you start a journey from this place, we want to move around the boundary of the region, but you stop somewhere along the line, and we say that is an arc. It's just a part of the circumference of the circle. Now, if for any reason we can pick a line that runs from the end points of this arc and produce those lines to meet at the center of the circle. Of course, we have two radii meeting at the center here, and an angle is formed here. Now we say that angle is an angle subtended at the center of a circle. Now we can as well, from those two endpoints of that same arc, take note of that, from the end points of that same arc, draw two chords this time around to meet at the circumference. So we consider the angle formed between the two chords here as an angle subtended at the circumference of the circle. Right, this is a circle. That is a circle, and we can draw a line from the center to the circumference, draw another one, and those are radii, which is forming that angle at the center, angle ABC at the center. Take the measurement of that angle and take note of it. We have 94.50, and that is the angle at the center. Let us also draw a line from those two endpoints to the circumference. As we can see, obviously there is also an angle that is formed at the circumference at point D. Now we want to look at the relationship between those two angles. We have said this is 94, and clearly this is 47.25, which is half of 94.50. The angle at the circumference multiplied by 2 should give us the one at the center. Or say, if you divide the one at the center by 2, you get the one at the circumference. Now, we can continue to change the location of D as we choose. It does not necessarily need to be at that particular point. Move it anywhere. You will observe that the values are not changing. The same 47 at D, 0.25 and 94.50 at the center. But if you move it into that minor arc, you see something that is changing. So for today, we're not going to be talking about that. We're not going to talk about what is responsible for that change. In the next video, we'll be talking about it. The angle, like I mentioned earlier, must be on the other side of the arc that produces the angles. Change this. If you move the point C away from where it is, the value of the two angles will change. Now we have 53.40 as against 106.80. So keep changing the position of D. Nothing is going to change. So from what we have seen here so far, there is a theorem. And the theorem says the angle which an arc of a circle subtends at the center of a circle is twice that which it subtends at any point on the remaining part of the circumference. Like we said earlier, this one is at the center, this one is at the circumference, and the rule says the angle formed at center is twice that which it subtended here. In this case, angle at center is angle AOB, and we are saying that AOB is twice that which it subtends at the circumference, and at the circumference we have angle ACB. Now we take an example quickly. Given that AOB is 110 degrees, find the value of ACB. Take note of the two angles ACB, AOB. Now AOB is the one at the center, ACB is the one at the circumference. We'll take the solution quickly. Remember, we said the angle at center, AOB in this case, is twice that at the circumference, which in this case, ACB. Angle at center, AOB, is twice ACB at the circumference. Now we have been given the value of AOB as 110. So replace AOB with 110 and is equal to twice ACB. ACB is what we are looking for. So we're not going to give it a value. So we follow a step-by-step approach. If we divide through by 2, we will be having 110 divided by 2 equals ACB. And we can conclude from there that angle ACB is 55 degrees. So obviously, like we said, ACB is at the circumference. Multiply it by 2, you get what is at the center. Divide what is at the center by 2, you get what is at the circumference. So having listened to all that, following the examples, let's see what we have achieved so far. We look at the diagram we have here. There is an angle at the circumference, 38 degrees. There is one at the center, which is M. Remember what the rule says. I'm not going to tell you what the answer is. What is the value of M? There's another one here. The angle at the circumference is K. The one at the center is 96. What is the value of K? We also have the third. Angle at center is Y. And the one at the circumference is 50 degrees. We will need to solve those ones to be sure that we understood what we have listened to. So in case you want to submit the solution to those achievement check, you can just go into the comment box, submit your answers there. Do not forget to like the video, click on the subscribe button. See you next time. Thank you and God bless you.